Some of you have asked me, and I think I'll answer that question now, why it is that we were so sure that these terrorists had come from Pakistan. There are three reasons, my friends. The first is that we have seen a pattern for almost 4 decades of repeated terror attacks, which have been always denied by Pakistan and then proven to involve people based in, created by, armed by, financed by, guided by Pakistan, by elements in Pakistan. I will not blame the entire government or the state. There are elements in the military establishment of that state that have done this. You all remember the horrors of Mumbai in 2008. You all remember 170 people being killed in 3 or 4 locations, innocent people at hotels having dinners and celebrations who were killed in pursuance of this malign agenda. You all remember how Pakistan claimed that they did not know where Osama bin Laden was and that they thought he was dead, and he was found in a safe house right next to an army cantonment in a city that is a headquarters, a major garrison of the Pakistan Army. This has been the record of Pakistan time after time after time. So our first set of reasons is when there is a pattern established and proven over many decades, you have no reason to disbelieve that suddenly this came from somewhere else. Second reason, when we struck the terror headquarters, we took some lives. And of course, a funeral was conducted. There were some very prominent people at that funeral, and there was at least one individual whose name had been listed by the United Nations Sanctions Committee. I want to show you who attended the funeral, and I think we have a slide on the screen as well. It was people in uniform from the highest echelons of the Pakistani Army and police mourning at the funeral of designated terrorists. This is the country that now says, we are innocent, we did not do it. You do not mourn for people you do not know. Delegation which covers 5 political parties and represents all parts of the country. And what we are trying to do is to go to a few countries in this region. The Prime Minister has sent smaller delegations to other regions as well. The idea is to explain to you our perspective on the recent events in our country and to seek your understanding for not just what we did, but what stand we have taken in the event of any future developments of a similar nature. I want to start by thanking you for the very constructive statement that Panama issued on this subject and the very helpful role that you have played in the Security Council. And we certainly hope that your instructions to your ambassador will continue to show understanding for India's position. We know that Panama, indeed the President of the National Assembly said this already, has consistently stood against terrorism. Terrorism should not be a resort of attempting to address international disputes. If there are problems, there are other ways of dealing with them. Sending terrorists across the border is simply unacceptable, and that should be made clear. We should go after the perpetrators, the killers ourselves, and we will do so. But those who give them safe haven, those who protect them, finance them, train them, arm them, dispatch them, and guide them, they should also be held accountable. And increasingly, it seems to me, it will become inescapable for us to face this particular aspect of the challenge. And we certainly would like to seek your understanding. Before going into more detail and responding to any questions you may have, just honored by the very warm welcome we received from Minister Martinez Acha. He really has been extremely kind, as he took the trouble also to get a couple of members of parliament to join his delegation, and on top of that we had his vice minister. So it was a very, very important meeting. We covered a lot of ground. The minister received our message on terrorism in a very receptive and open-hearted way, as you saw from his own comments right now. In addition, he raised a number of opportunities for close India-Panama collaboration in the future, particularly technology, education. He mentioned the IIT, schools of business and so on, pharmaceuticals, a lot of areas of future cooperation, which shows the commitment of the Minister and his government to closer relations between our countries. So on both grounds, both in terms of our message on terrorism and on the larger picture of our cooperation with Panama, it's been a very successful meeting, and I thank the Minister for his warm embrace, his warm welcome for all of us.